Yo, what is going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Ballin with the Ladies, all things WNBA related. But before we get into today's episode, if you guys are new, make sure to hit that like button, definitely hit that subscribe button. And that being said, obviously there's been some interesting stuff going around the league the last few days, I would say. Like one in particular, I know this kind of been not really talked about. The Seattle Storm actually almost made a comeback over the Washington Mystics. I think it was the Wisconsin Mystics, if I'm not mistaken. After, let's be real, the Storm had let's talk about having a first half was god awful.
That first half was bad.
Oh, God. Ugh. Yeah, that was just terrible.
Bad play right there. Yeah, bad play after bad play. It was bad, man.
But Seattle, like we talked about once before, I think most not just from me and Tyler here, and also Key and Dante, or other WNBA fans, Key and Dante knows that
They said the same thing to us. They only have like that star, and then that's it. They have one star. That's it.
And it's terrible to see a team like Seattle, who I would say really had high expectations coming into this year, but rather than knowing that, you lost Brianna Stewart, you lost a couple of your other key pieces from that playoff team, obviously retirement, because there weren't Super. I mean, we all figured she was going to retire. She was going to retire sooner.
She was past the twilight of her career. She was done.
But Brianna January was kind of an interesting surprise for someone to retire as quick as she did, which is very surprising on that.
Speaking of surprises, Rob, what the hell has happened to the Mercury?
Well,
because they are 2-8 to start this season. What the hell happened to them?
Well, obviously,
you expect things when you have Brittany Griner coming back. You expect this shit. You expect shit to get better.
Apparently, I
don't know what. I have no clue. I have no words to like describe what the hell happened. Like what the hell happened? Like the wheels fell off. They were like what 2-0 to start the season.
I think 2-0 or so, like 3-2. I can't remember. Whoever the case.
They were 2-0. Well, they actually weren't 3-2. They were 2-0 because right now they're 2-8. They don't have a third win. They're 2-8.
I would say, the fact that Brittany Griner, yes, is dealing with the hip injury. I think she's been hurt, and obviously, it's all stemmed to the fact that, of course, that incident, that fucking moron decided to follow her at the airport. And
you're trying to bum rush her security to get to her, and the moron. So now the team's distracted again because of Brittany Griner and that situation with the airport thing and her injury and the bad play, and it's basically the same as last year. Same as last year. Brittany Griner's not playing, and they're struggling. And now there's another situation at an airport where she gets bum rushed by an idiotic fan trying to look for 15 minutes of freaking fame on YouTube. Like, yeah.
Like, what the hell?
Like, work for your shit, dude. Like, look at us. Like, we're on YouTube and shit, but we're working for our shit. We're not just trying to bum rush security to get to a celebrity.
Yeah, and you could also make the argument that they're also missing some other key pieces, like Skylar Diggins-Smith. She's been out, obviously with her pregnancy, which she is a key vital part of this Mercury team.
For sure, man.
Yeah,
for sure. If you've seen her last year before she got pregnant, oh boy. Oh boy.
She's a solid wife. She's a solid guard.
Yeah, she is, man.
Kate Petty, she credit to her coming. As a Temple product, but she's coming off that. I think it was either ACL or I think it might have been Achilles coming after that playoffs, and
it was an Achilles injury. It was an Achilles injury. I forgot what game in the playoffs it was, but it was an Achilles injury, I think.
Yeah, the Mercury just
Oh
I
my god!
mean, top one having question marks.
Right now, they have too many. They have so many question marks. They added another question mark with the Brittany Griner injury that happened.
And plus, I mean, look at this roster. You know, you have right now your elder stateswoman is Diana Taurasi. Like, how much longer does she? You know, that's going to
and
be.
and at this point, she's got to be sick of trying to carry this team.
I mean, she's been in
Like,
this league 18 seasons.
yeah, and plus, it's not her fault that she has to carry the team. It's not the team's fault either. Brittany Griner should be still playing, but she's hurt. You
And
have
outside of BG, you need other players to step up when you really need it the most.
you're missing so many players, and that's what's sad because they started the season 2-0.
Yeah, it's just. Ugh.
And everything was looking good for them to start the season, and now they've fallen so far the last 8 games to where now we're 10 games into the season.
It gets you to wonder, like, what do they need to do to turn this shit around? Because if not, I would say Vanessa Nygaard. I mean, I think her rear end is on the hot seat by how everything has gone on this past year and a half.
For sure.
Even though, look, I'm not saying like it's her fault because I know that's kind of that's a scapegoat way, but you have to look at not just from and this all happens in all sports. Like if you have a team that's I think, look, Mercury, I'd never had high expectations for this team, but I did had some decent expectations. I would have liked to see it a lot better. Let's say,
do we think that this team is going to be, championship contenders?
Oh, absolutely not.
Playoff contenders, yeah. Playoff contenders for sure.
Championship, that remains to be seen.
Wait, hold on. Oh, I thought somebody commented. Never mind.
No.
But dude, I'm telling you this right now. We expected this team to be way better than what they are. 2-8 to start the season. 2-8.
Think of this too. Look at their schedule. When they opened up against the Sparks, they lost 94-71. That's 0-1, and they lost.
Okay, they were 0-1. They didn't start 2-0.
They lost to the Sky 75-69. Very nice. But they did beat the Minnesota Lynx 90-81, which is 1-2. They lost to the Mercury, or lost to the Sparks, I should say, very close by 6 points, 99-93 at the Footprint Center. That's one.
So they've been losing for a long time. I thought they started. My brain got foggy in the beginning of the season. After that, I forgot what happened at the beginning of the season. Honestly,
after
a while,
Dallas Wings 79-84. That's a loss. They played the Wings again. They lost again.
But here's the thing, though. I see a trend. Minus that one game they lost by a lot of points, they've only been close losses. So they're right there.
It's just...
They just can't get out of their own way, it seems like.
Yeah, I mean, the Skylar Dickens-Smith out, Shea Petty, I don't know what she's looking like. I mean, right now, currently today, like I said, they just suffered their 8th loss to the New York Liberty, 89-71.
See, that one wasn't that close. 89-71.
I mean,
that was not that close at all. That's ugly to the point where, oh my god, dude,
it's
they just can't get out of their own way. They're making mistake after mistake.
I mean, think about it. Right now, their leading
I feel like the only 2 people that were really carrying this team a little bit in the beginning of the season was Griner and Taurasi. That's it.
So, funny enough, Taurasi did not even play a single minute in this game against the Liberty.
Well, I wonder why.
I mean, right now, your leading scorer in that game was Sophia Cunningham with 27 points.
Why wasn't she playing today?
I don't think she never played. That's according to them. Look at the box score now.
No, I know, but why?
Hey, that's what hey, look, your guess is as good as mine.
Why would you sit one of your best players? You're already down one of your best players from injury, and you're going to sit Diana freaking Taurasi?
Or maybe there's probably an injury that we don't know about. Maybe.
Could be an
Shea
underlying
Petty,
injury.
good Lord. That's a disgusting stat line that I've ever seen in the basketball.
Read that stat line. Read that stat line, bro.
2 points, 1 steal, 1 steal. Hang on. Try to 2 rebounds with a minus 19 in almost 20 minutes of play.
Oh, Jesus Christ. You're out there for 20 minutes and you did shit?
I mean, right now, the only ones that had double figures was Sophia Cunningham with 27, Mariah Jefferson, solid, in almost 30 minutes with 11 points, 4 boards, 4 steals.
Okay, we get the rest of them, but I'm going to talk about that one stat line right now.
Ooh.
You're out there for 20 minutes. 20 freaking minutes. And
this gets worse. She's 0 for 6. Oh, Tyler, this gets worse. She's 0 for 6 from the floor and 0 for 4 from 3.
So you just straight up just bricking shots the entire time.
She pretty much pulled
for 20 minutes.
The only point she got were from the free throw line. That's
oh my god, bro!
It's
at least you weren't dog shit at the line. That's all I got to say. But the rest of the time, you were crap.
It gets you wonder, like
you're over for 20 minutes. 20 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, that's. I mean, ugh.
No, that's sickening. That makes me want to gag too, bro.
Yeah, that's
20 damn minutes and you do diddly squat.
I mean, right now we have 2 current games right underway. You have the Washington Mystics and the Chicago Sky. It's a 10-point lead for the Mystics. And Atlanta's now holding a 7-point lead over the Fever right now at half. Not going to give the Fever a lot of credit, though, because, I mean, there's some expectations set on this team for a team that last year, let's be real, were god-awful, for a lack of a better term. What, 5-31?
Dude, 5-31. And honestly, they've actually been playing pretty solid basketball lately.
Yeah, which is
I know a lot of they've been resulting in losses, but I said it before. I said it before though. Like I put on one of the games so I can actually watch it for once. It's not stuck behind a CBS little wall where you have to download the CBS shit. I don't want to do that. But dude, that game's already over. God damn it. Okay. The Mystics win 77-69.
Very nice. But
yeah, nice. Hey, hey, Chicago, you did a great job. You only left the 69 points. Nice.
Speaking of, I wonder if because that's another thing too with the Mystic as well too. As do I think? Look, besides the Mystics being a playoff contender, I think on paper, if they can get it right, I think it could be a possible sleeper and championship contender.
I see it. The way they've been playing, even when they play sloppy ball, they somehow manage.
Even though, let's be real, there's so. I was like, man.
There was one game that I watched where Elena Deladon didn't do shit. Couldn't even buy a bucket, and they still won the game.
I mean, not a bad day from her. 27 minutes, 5 of 15 from the floor, 1 of 2 from 3, 9 for 9 from the free throw line for 20 points, 6 rebounds, 2 assists, and 1 steal. That's her stat line from the.
Those are good numbers, man. Those are good numbers, and that's what she can bring you, man. Elena
Deladon, even though she's the face of that franchise, but you got some interesting role players like Brittany Sykes, who went 6 of 8 from the floor. 1 from 3.
I'm telling you that right now. That's why Elena Deladon is a surefire pick to be in the Hall of Fame. You cannot tell me different. You can't tell me different.
Yeah, I mean, look. I mean, outside of that, Shakira Austin, she's also solid as well. Had a bit of a clunk. I guess you could say a clunker.
The whole team is solid. That's why we're thinking that this team could be a dark horse to win the championship.
I mean, they did. They do have one in 2018.
They did it before, but here's the thing: they're a complete team. They remind me of the Denver Nuggets of this year.
But the one thing
so complete.
That is true, but here's the key issue: they had to stay healthy. That's always the biggest
They got
knock
to stay healthy,
on the
and you know
Washington Mystics.
and you got that team out west with the Las Vegas Aces. They have
Well,
to
that's
get
one of the best teams right now. The current best team in the WNBA.
9-1, brother. 9-1, bro.
Now, I will say, as of recently, they are playing tonight against the Lynx. I think that's going to be.
Can I actually watch the game?
Or
do I have to watch this shit on
TV? But you can also, it's also streamed on.
Wait, what's it on? What's it on?
TV. You can also stream it on
Oh,
League.
thank freaking Christ, bro! I'm not gonna. Oh, you can watch every single game unless it's on CBS. What?
CBS and ESPN. But
or if it's in your local market. So I couldn't watch the game that they had in freaking against Connecticut because I'm like too close to the area.
Speaking of Connecticut, they're right now. They're currently right now in terms of the standings overall. They're the second best team in the WNBA at 8-3. They're 5-2 at home. RC against their in conference play, 4-2 at home, 4-1 on the road. But right now they've lost today. They're on a 1-game losing streak. They're 7-3 in the last 10 games. Aces, well, let's be real. They
don't even know how to lose.
Well, they have
what the
one
hell
loss.
Is that? Like they don't even know how to lose a game.
They have one loss that came in against the game 2 of the season series against the Nugget against the Connecticut Sun. Which
every goddamn since, bro, they don't know how to lose a game. They don't even know how to lose.
I had a feeling that we were going to lose to the Sun regardless, but for me, it depends. Like which
they're one of the best. They're one of the best teams, bro. They're one of the best teams in the league.
And it's crazy too that you don't have Jonquel Jones. You know that's no longer there because you traded her to the New York Liberty. But you still make up for the fact you still got DeWanda Bonner, who is still a phenomenal scorer.
Bro, my God, bro.
Let me look at the roster.
She's a beast.
She can give Natisha Heidemann solid, but not great. She's a solid player.
Yeah, she's pretty
Brianna
good.
Jones, like once you can get her going,
she will go.
And DeWanda Bonner, like she can give you, on a good day. There were times where I've seen games from her where I think you want to drop like 30 plus. Right now, currently on the season, she's averaging 17 and a half points per game, basically 4 rebounds a game and 2.3 assists per game.
She'll give you boards. She'll give you points. The assist numbers, she won't pass the rock as much because they're probably passing to her to get buckets because she can score. But she can give you boards. She can give you buckets. She's a good player.
I mean, she's been in this league for 13 seasons.
Oh yeah.
So I mean, she's a consistent. 20. Yeah, I know. In times we don't want to count the 2020 season, but that's one of her best seasons. Oh, actually, wait a minute. I'm completely wrong. Her best season to date.
Did they have a 2020 season?
I think they did.
Okay.
But her best season came in 2012, where she averaged 35 minutes a game, 20.6. She pretty much averaged 20.6 points per game. Oh, let me see the rebounds. She's been hovering in terms of the rebound numbers between 4 and 7 in terms of her rebounding numbers.
But she went from elite talent to role player, which is pretty good because usually people go from elite talent to out of league. It doesn't matter what sport it is. Could be the NBA, could be WNBA, could be baseball, football. You go from good talent to just not being in the league. She goes from great talent to being a good role player, which I really, really like.
Overall, in her last 5 games, overall 3-2, on the 15th against the Atlanta Dream, she dropped 20 points and 20 points, 2 rebounds, 3 assists, 1 steal. And she's very pesky on the defensive end of the floor. June 11th, obviously logged in 28 minutes, 15 points, 3 assists, 2 rebounds, another steal, and a block against the Aces. And their win, she dropped 41 points, 7 boards, 1 assist, and 1 steal. So she can give you can't be stopped. She'll give you sometimes on occasion a 40 point, but minus that, she can give you 50, pretty much on average 15 to 20 plus a night. Is basically what
Yeah,
DeWanna
but
Bonner can give you.
if she plans to go off on you, if she plans to go off on you, she'll drop a 40 piece on you.
Yeah,
Right on your head, 40 piece.
And think about this too with her. She's a 2-time champ with both with Phoenix, 4-time WNBA All Star, 2018 AP Comeback Player of the Year, 3-time WNBA Sixth Woman of the Year, has an ESPY for Best WNBA Player nominee, selected number 5 overall in the 2009 WNBA Draft. So her resume kind of does speak for itself.
But this speaks for itself. Like she's a legend in her own right. She's only been in the league
13
12,
this is her 14th season.
14 seasons.
And that's a lot of thing too. Like this is why I feel like we've seen players like I said with DeWanna Bonner. Hell, even fucking Candace Parker. Like she knows her role. Like she's not the same player the star player she used to be, but she's willing. And there are times she can give you 10 plus points a night per game, but that's kind of like she knows like she's a role player on a really good team, and I think she's kind of more content with that, which we have seen. And
a lot of these players just want to stay star players, and the problem is it hurts them.
And on some teams, it really doesn't, because they'll definitely. It's in a way you can look at it.
Some teams it doesn't, but when your play has diminished a little bit, you shouldn't be content with I'm going to stay being a star. Your star is fading. Become a role player, and then you can maintain being a star.
And that's kind of and that's what I would say. DeWanna Bonner has, even though you could say she's still a star, but she's also a role player at the same time, which is crazy as it sounds. But if you looked at the numbers,
that's exactly what I mean, bro. Like, if you want to keep being a star, and your play is kind of diminishing because you used to put up 20 points a night, now you're just putting up 12, 13 points a night. Be that role player, and then you can keep your star, because you're helping a team win games. You're helping a team do their part because you're that quality role player.
And that's a lot of things too. Like we've seen, like Indiana. Look, like I said, I'm not going to be too harsh on them. I think they're close. You can see in the style of play that the Indiana Fever are going for. Because right now, I think Dante mentioned something like, say, I think he said something about is there a certain amount of wins that the Fever had to cross? I think it would have been 5-6 wins. I think it was, which
they'd have to cross that 5-6 threshold, because that 5-31 star, bro.
Oh, good Lord.
Yeah, last year that was bad. That was bad. They need to really develop.
And for those who are asking why Dante says that, so to elaborate more on that, because Dante can see, that their current head coach now for Indiana, I guess, is hypothetically on the hot seat, because if they cannot get 5+ wins, let's say 7 wins, if they can't get 7 wins, it's time to make a coaching change.
If they can't win, honestly, I think if they can't win more than 7, get to at least 10. 15, maybe 20 wins, they're done.
Yeah, it's time for the coaching change. But speaking of more on that, which is some amazing stuff that we've seen so far throughout the WNBA. Yeah, both Sue Bird for the Seattle Storm and Sylvia Fowles for the Minnesota Lynx both now have their jerseys hanging up in the rafters. So their jerseys have been officially retired.
Any player that wants to wear that number, you can't wear it in those cities, man.
It really is. I mean,
and now they're up in the rafters. Next up, putting Sue Bird in the Hall of Fame.
Definitely. And and speaking of another one, this is actually talk about one of the rookies who's been shining out so far in the WNBA, Leah Boston.
See, that was expected. That was really expected of her. But she was drafted super high in that draft, and
I mean,
And
for obvious,
they,
for good
they look
reason.
at her as a star, their star player. She's playing like it.
I
She's
mean,
playing like it,
despite
man.
the fact she had actually a bit of a slow start getting right out the gate. Then again, what player doesn't?
But like we said, she's a rookie trying to get acclimated to the league. Now she's acclimated, and now she's playing better. What we said came to fruition, and we're happy for her that she's able to actually showcase her skills now because she's now comfortable in the league.
Because boy, almost. So far, I mean, right now she's already logged in right now as the Heat or not Heat, the Fever. Jesus Christ, the Fever and the Dream. Aaliyah Boston's is right now 5 from 9 from the floor, 3 of 3 from the free throw line. With 13 points, 1 rebound, and 2 block shots. But I know that rebounding is going to come because let's be real, she is a double machine. If you have not watched Aaliyah Boston at South Carolina,
oh my God,
yeah,
dude.
I don't know what to tell you.
She flat out scares me. When I watched her at South Carolina, when they were on TV, bro, she flat out freaking scared me.
I mean, why do you think she holds the school record
she's out here getting 20 and 10 one of these games? I'm like, what the hell?
Or there are times she'll get you 13 and 14. Like, she's not look, she's more of a rebounding machine than anything else, but there are times that she can score, double figures, but scoring's kind of not part of her game. She's more of like a defensive specialist, but when she can get her points when she can. And I think that's why I think you got to give a lot of credit to someone like Dawn Staley, who's really transformed some of these women. Like someone like an Aaliyah Boston or Isaiah Cook, who's been more, it's been in a way a little bit disappointing because I wanted to see a little bit more from her. You have Asia Wilson came out in 2018, who, let's be real, her career numbers speak for itself. Right now, I think she's like 4 away from in terms of the double, almost for the double record in the WNBA, and she's been in the league. South Carolina, in terms of the women's basketball program, they can pump out, some good talent. Like I said, when Isaiah Cook gets going,
you want to know why? 2 words: Dawn Staley.
And that's another thing too. I think a lot of people don't really, and that's why I think, people don't give, or I know there should be some people that sleep on Dawn Staley, but regardless. Speaking of Asia Wilson and also Breanna Stewart,
I don't think they're sleeping on Dawn Staley. She's literally in commercials now.
But overall, speaking of Asia Wilson, and this also ties into Breanna Stewart, but they both lead early at the WNBA All-Star voting, which then again, that's not surprising. Let's be real.
It's not. You have Stewie and you have the other.
And Asia Wilson, who...
And Asia Wilson.
I mean,
Stewie and Asia Wilson, your top 2 stars that are going crazy right now.
But yeah, it's like this. Look, Asia Wilson has, to be quite honest, has come a long way since making her debut in 2018. A 2-time MVP, a Defensive Player of the Year, has a championship ring to her name, which is, and especially for the city of Vegas, who, let's be real, very young and upcoming sports city, which now, the fact they hold now 2 professional titles, which is phenomenal to see.
Holding up 2 professional titles. They have 3 sports teams, about to get a 4th. Like, crazy, bro.
And that's another thing too. This is what I like about Asia Wilson too. Once you seeing her games, it's like if the Aces are struggling, she's that kind of other than Becky Hammond kind of helping get these ladies back into it. But she's one of those catalysts that, if you need a leader, she's that. Same thing with Kelsey Plum. Let's be real. No pun intended, but she is a dog the way that she has to going on.
Bro, there was one play where she absolutely bodied 2 women at the same time just to get a bucket. I was like, Jesus Christ. But hold on. So I think it was one of those games. I think it was like their 3rd game or whatever, where it was I think it was one of the final plays where Kelsey Plum had the ball and she absolutely bodies 2 women at the same time just to get a bucket.
And
I was like, "Geez, Kelsey,
And this is why people like. I think this Kelsey Plum's like the kind of player that you don't want to sleep on. Yeah, I mean, granted, yeah, she's undersized for a point guard, but she uses that to her advantage better than anybody. Standing at only 5'8", but yet can body you with her short size.
Yeah,
And
Damien, that's gonna be for the wrestling, not for here, brother. I hate
but
to.
that's gonna be an interesting talking point later.
That'll be a good talking point for the podcast on Thursday. That will
But
be a good talking point there.
that being said, um, since we did to talk about the BG incident, but good on the WNBA, but they actually are making adjustments to after the situation. They're going to fly JSX or use JSX to fly out there as charter flights. Now, for those who don't know what JSX is, that is a I guess you could say right now it's not like a commercial flight, but it's one of those flights usually from a private hangar. So they're going to start using that as for charter flights, which because they want to they take player safety seriously, especially like we said in case of the Brittany Griner. Yes, the fact that her name is kind of has a lot of bad notoriety that's tied to her name.
I wouldn't say bad. I wouldn't say bad notoriety. It's only to the haters that she's notorious. To be honest,
yeah,
but hold on, like this is a problem not only in sports but in wrestling too. It's like these idiots out here who have YouTube channels or merch that they want signed so they can sell on eBay from their favorite, sports teams or their favorite wrestlers or whatever. Like they always try to stalk them at airports. Stop doing that. Quit.
Yeah.
These people are just trying to go where they need to go. Like Brittany Griner was just going to the next city to play a game. And you go and do this shit. That's not cool, man. That's not cool.
It really isn't.
Like it's infuriating, bro.
It's disgusting behavior. Now, Tyra, you brought up a couple interesting points that we talked about behind the scenes. So I want to kind of get you what you wanted some of your talking points that you brought up behind the scenes.
We already talked about what we had to talk about behind the scenes. The Brittany Griner situation, the fact that the Aces are dominant and the Mercury is bad.
So right now as some of the games are going on, we are in the fourth week of the WNBA season, which is kind of it's freaking crazy. Like how the season's going on. We're about 4 weeks in, and it's like, damn, like slow down. Well, regardless. So we've and you also did mention about the power rankings. So obviously,
that was the one thing I was missing. Okay.
So right now, currently, this is from week 3. So week 4 is going to be updated after this week. So as we go on, obviously, number 1, it's obvious it's still the Las Vegas Aces. They're right now. They had it at them as said 8-1.
Like I said, man, they don't know how to lose.
You ain't wrong.
They physically can't. Even though if they play sloppy, they still manage to win a game. It's hard for them to lose
because it's like good team basketball, but yet they still know how to whip some ass. Basically, look the last 3 games. You had they took a W against the Sun, 90-84. Even though that's too close to what I would have liked.
Bro, don't be like that, bro. Don't, no, Damien, no.
We're gonna move on from that.
Yeah, I'm not gonna give you the time of day for that shit, dude.
But yeah, obviously, this is probably the worst loss that I've seen the Aces ever in a very short time that I've watched the Aces play. So in terms, against the Connecticut Sun, they lost. Well, let's be real, 94-77. That's one of the worst losses that I've seen. Actually, this is probably the baddest loss that I've seen this team actually have. And obviously, they pulled out a 13-point victory over the Sky, 93-80. But obviously, they did beat the Storm, which that's kind of expected because we're definitely probably going to own some series against some of these teams. Sorry, Key. I really do think we're definitely going to sweep the season series against your Sparks. I just always have a feeling because we've won. We talked about this.
What are the Sparks record?
Speaking of the Sparks, as it stands up to this point, they are five. They're even at 500. They're 5-5 so far through their first 10 games of the season.
See, I'm not sure. They can have a good game or they can have a bad game. I don't know.
And in conference play, yeah, I mean they're 4-5 in conference play. They're 3-2 at home, but they're not that great on the road.
If we get them on the road, then we'll beat them. But if we get them at home, they might be good.
Yeah, that's true. But really looking at it, I mean, the Aces last year obviously was a 36-game season, but so they actually added an extra 4 games, went 26-10 overall, and obviously probably had probably one of the best runs that I've seen they ever had. But I think overall, like this. Speaking of which, and I can actually look back at their 2022 season. So in turn in the Sparks, they Monday, May 23rd, 2022. So Jesus. 104.76.
Damien, now you're pissing me off.
But yeah.
Knew what she was doing, and no, here's the thing. Russia hates every freaking thing, bro. Okay? Hates every goddamn thing. They were using her as goddamn bait for this damn stupid ass war that they fucking started. And now you're kind of defending this damn YouTuber? Enough, bro.
But what's good, Rafi? But yeah, but overall, like I said, the Sparks, well, right now, tonight, they got to play the Connecticut side. Oh, Jesus. That's, good luck with that to the Sparks.
Yeah, they're going to be 5-6.
But that being said, like I said, I'm very interested to see what this rest of the season is going to be playing out for some teams. Obviously, if you take, let's be real. There's some teams that, let's be real. We got some coaches that may or may not be on the hot seat. Like we mentioned before, Vanessa Nygaard, I think I can see being on the hot seat. Maybe Indiana's head coach, if they don't get to at least say 7 wins, because right now, like I said, it's because I don't think this team, because like this team is still not there yet in terms of being a double digit. But then again, things can change in the coming weeks, and knowing that, yeah, it's just not looking. I mean, if you're a Storm fan or Mercury, good Lord, I don't even know what to say. If I'm going to be completely honest, because it's just, it's just not great.
There's time for the Mercury.
It's still early,
and a lot of your players come back. But for the Storm, writing's on the goddamn wall already. You don't have players. You don't have players. You only have one star. That's it.
And
your other star is pregnant and out.
Yeah, I mean, and same thing you said about the Spark too, because that's the one thing that I've noticed with the Spark. Sometimes if they can't string wins together, either one of two things is going to happen. Either the Agumake sisters are not there, because we have seen times the Agumake sisters are not there, or obviously not available. Like say that one of them's not available and some just have an off night. Yeah, sometimes that team really is kind of ran by the Agumake sisters. And now the fact that they brought in somebody on a hardship contract, that should tell you that, yeah, I mean, Katie Lou, I think she might be coming back next year, because she's another one that has to coming off her.
What up, Coach?
What up, Coach Ed? You know what? I could see them be the Arizona Cardinals.
Honestly, I could see that, but here's the thing. I can agree. I agree, because they just got rid of
that.
They just got rid of freaking D-Hop. So yeah, they are the Storm.
They're pretty much the Arizona Cardinals of the WNBA. And Not gonna lie.
You get rid of your star, and you're bad. The same thing with the Cardinals. You get rid of your star, they're bad.
And look at the New York Liberty; they're the third best team right now, currently in the WNBA at 6-3.
They're freaking stacked, bro.
I'm not gonna say early in the season. Yeah, there was a little bit. Well, I would say they got a hard time gelling, but as the season is going on, you see this team.
Honestly, it was just the first 2 games.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like the first 2 games, like it's like. But because, like I said, I never had hate for the New York Liberty because I do think they've always been a good, talented team. I mean, if you looked at this roster in terms of the Liberty, minus Brianna's, I mean, Stephanie Dolson, very nice coming off the bench. Sabrina Ionescu, let's be real, probably one of the best shooters and good scores. Marina Johannes, let's be real. Like, if you need someone to pass the basketball and you rack up assist numbers, Johannes is that lady to do so. Obviously traded for Jonquel Jones. You got obviously to help with the down underneath. You got actually two good Rutgers players. Epiphany Prince is very solid. Betna Laney, even though she has done very well for me in fantasy basketball, but I'll leave. That's going to be irrelevant. Nair Sabali, don't really know much about her. Coming out of Oregon, so that she's still kind of new. So I thought we'd see Brandon Story. She's kind of picking up where she's left off. Now, I mean, right now, currently, see what she's averaging right now. Jesus Christ. This is unfair. 23.4 points per game, 10.4 rebounds a game, and 3.7 assists per game.
We were talking about this 4 weeks ago.
It's like
I think it was either on episode 1 or episode 2.
This is where it was on our debut episode.
It was our debut episode where she was averaging back then a double-double. Here we are 4 weeks later. Yeah, she's still averaging a fucking double-double. Jesus.
Like, how the hell? Think of this too. Like, her resume speaks for itself. She has an MVP in 2018, 2-time champ, Finals MVP, Commissioner's Cup MVP, scoring leader in 2022, Player of the Year, all first team, all second team, all defensive team, an All-Star 4 times in a row, Rookie of the Year, all first team, rookie first team, number 1 overall pick in 2016, fastest player to reach 1,000 points, 500 rebounds, which is 55 games, and overall 3,000 points and 1,000 rebounds in 125 career games. And a 2-time Olympic gold medalist, a FIBA World Championship gold medalist 3 times, and a member of the WWE's top 25 most dominant, skilled, and entertaining players in league history.
This shit ain't even fair. This shit ain't even fair,
it's
bro.
Not fair. And her last 5 games, 3 in her last 5 games, the Liberty went 3-2 in those 5 games.
Bro.
Man.
This ain't even fair.
This ain't right. June 13th. Now, granted, yes, the scoring was a little bit down, which is kind of unusual from her. 12 points, 13 rebounds, 6 assists, 1 steal, 4 blocks. Then again, we have seen times where she may not score a lot, but she can. It's crazy. You see someone like a. All right, hang on. I had a brain fart. God damn it.
Yeah, your brain broke.
My brain broke. Brianna Stewart, Jesus Christ. That's a first. I mean, look, she only put up 12 points, but for me, that's not really what matters. But look, she's contributed in the rebounding department. She can assist the ball but as well. Yes, another assist. Yeah, that is true.
Oh yeah. When she gets adjusted, she's gonna be
a pain in the ass for a lot of people in the post.
She's gonna be throwing everybody.
Trust me, I should know. She gave my
the damn post. Yo, from when you get her in the post, oh hell.
That's where her bread and butter is.
Oh hell, you get her in the post. Oh no, you're done.
I mean, look, today or June 13th, she put up 12 points. 13 rebounds, 6 assists, 1 steal, 4 blocks. And that's the thing too with Stewie, which I think people really don't take for granted. That her defensive game is better than it. It's still top tier. Probably still another great rebounding machine. And their win against Dallas on the 11th put up 32 points, 9 rebounds, 5 assists, 1 steal, 3 blocks. Now the turnovers, yeah, that's the one thing I will nitpick with her. She is a bit turnover prone. That's the one thing you don't sometimes you don't want to see from a great player like her is to turn the ball over a little too much. But I mean, overall, I mean, she's between between 1 and 4. And that it does speak volumes. And that's another thing too. Like that, they're playing unselfish basketball.
Yeah, they're passing the ball around. They're unselfish with the ball. They're getting buckets where they can get them, and that's really good.
That's kind of like most of the time you see, like that's sometimes a winning formula in basketball. You got to play unselfishly.
Yeah, you got to share that ball. You got to get points, share points, get your assist numbers up, and also find and also it also. And at this point, you got to find the open woman to get big shots. You got to shot create. You got to get your assists. You got to find points where you can, and that's what they're doing.
Absolutely. And on June 9th, she posted 25 points, 9 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 steal, 4 blocks. And that's the thing too. You'll see a lot from her. She'll average between 1 or 4 blocks per game. There are times you see her, like I said, she posted 1 block. Actually 4 blocks, which is freaking crazy, well, I mean, she has the size for it. Standing at 6'4", and her being a 6 foot, she looks a lot taller than being 6'4". I'm sorry. That's not, I'm not saying that's.
You see these interviews and the announcers are like,
yeah, it's like her height. It's not, she doesn't look like she's 6'4". I would say she
looks tall as hell.
Like I would say between 6'6" and 6'7".
She can't be 6'4". She cannot be 6'4". She's got to be taller.
Yeah, and that's the only downside to her too. Sometimes she'll get out muscled. Sometimes, which is yeah, that's not a good look. Sometimes not to see. But
that's her only flaw is that she does get like out muscled a lot.
But then again, though, even though she does get out muscled, but that still doesn't really stop her from having some really good games. Especially. I mean, right now, the tallest player on their roster is Hanju, sitting at 6'11". Woohoo! That's great. Courtney Vandersloot, I thought that was a very nice addition. Because let's be real, we've seen her win a championship with the Sky. Yeah, like you said, John Cole Jones, once she gets it together, sitting at 6'6", 215. That team is nasty. That's nasty.
My god, if JJ gets it together, oh hell. Mm-hmm. Oh, bro.
I do think they're going to if I'm going to be quite honest, I think they're going to run that Eastern Conference. I will say I think they're going to run the Eastern Conference, but it's going to be a tight race between them and the Connecticut Sun because I guess you could throw the Chicago Sky in there. It's been, even though the Sky, not going to say that they're a bad team, but they've been interesting to say the least, and the way how they played so far.
They've been hanging in there.
They've been very competitive in their games, and that is true. And I like that's like I said, you can't take that away from Liberty. They got some great height at the front, in the front court and at the back court, and they just get
that's her nickname, Damian Stewie, but her name is Brianna Stewie.
Trust me, Meatart said this on our debut show. Like that's the one team you do not want to sleep on. That is the Washington Mystics.
I'm telling you, in their games, they've looked like some games they look messy. But some games, they look like the most complete team in the league.
It all depends.
They definitely are a sleeper.
Oh, absolutely. Because, I mean, and like I said, it depends if they can stay healthy. Because we've seen Deladon where she's missed a couple of games with a stiff neck. And let's be real. Stiff necks is not it's not a good thing to go through it. Because that's like, you have to constantly move, like try to get, it feels like you have a crick in your neck. And she has.
And every time you move your neck with a stiff neck, it hurts like hell. And
Shakira Austin, look, she may not look like, in terms of you looked at her numbers, especially after today, look, she put up 13 points, big whoop, but she's also another key contributor to, like Tyler said, this complete team that is the Washington Mystics, because sometimes it's like, I feel like a team like the Seattle Storm have to take notes of some of these teams, like a Washington Mystics or the New York Liberty. Like, figure out what the hell you need to be not just about be a playoff contender, but also a championship contender.
Yep.
Right now the championship contenders I can see is the Vegas Aces, which is obvious, Connecticut Sun, Washington Mystics, New York Liberty. I guess you could throw the Sky in there as well. They've been playing some solid basketball.
I feel like they'll find a way to sneak in there. The way they played this year, they'll find a way to sneak in there.
But I mean, besides the other teams, I can see our playoff contenders is definitely the Sparks. You know what? I'll throw the Dallas Wings in there. I will throw the Dallas Wings as a potential title contender because I really like what they have over there in Dallas. Right now, yes, they're 5-6, but they're 4-6 the last 10 games. They've been struggling. That's crazy as it seems. No, but I do think they're gonna. Yeah, and that's the one thing is as good of a team as Dallas. There's no reason for you should be losing to a team like Seattle. That's well, I'm not going to nitpick on it, but I will nitpick on it. Oh man, it's just a 6-point loss for the Dallas Wings. But I do think they're going to get back into the win column against the Dream because let's be real, we've seen the Dream not. Well, what's the word? It's
atrocious.
But I will say some of the players on the Dreams, like Haley Jones, let's be real.
Mike Damien, he is going.
He's already been traded.
He's already been traded to him.
But
there's no Mike there, man. He's going to the Suns.
But outside of that, I mean, I'm really intrigued to see, because I think there's going to be some interesting teams that might take this league by surprise. Now, minus out the obvious, like the Connecticut Sun, the Aces, and the New York Liberty, which you're right now, your three obvious title contenders at the moment, your top three right now. But you got some sleepers. Like I said, Washington Mystics is a sleeper. Same with the Dallas Wings and definitely Chicago Sky. Look, and that's the thing too. Like the Chicago Sky, yeah, Kalia Copper, gotta love it. No, shout out North Philly coming through in Chicago. But I really like what they have over there with Mabry, who's been, let's bro it. She gave a bit of a her Copper gave her Aces a bit of a fit when we played them. And I was getting, oh boy, that's I will say this is where sometimes I really hope the Aces will not say will figure out, but learn how to start, become what they are and start, try to blow out teams because some of these games they played, oh good lord, they are just a heart attack waiting to fucking happen.
Bro, the one game that me and you streamed, I was almost having a damn near heart attack.
Yeah, you almost had a heart attack.
I'm like, what are the Aces doing? Because they started like not scoring and then they just I forget who we were playing. They let them back in it. I'm like, are you kidding me?
I think it might have been the Dream. No, that was the Chicago Sky. I'm an idiot. It
was the goddamn Dream. And I'm sitting there panicking. I'm like, dude.
Oh, definitely. Coach Ed, shit. That'll be definitely.
Hey man, we'd love for you to join.
Oh, definitely. Man. Giving a bit of a different. Absolutely. But yeah, that being said, like I said, it's not one of your typical 1 hour shows that we usually do, but obviously it is Father's Day. So happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there.
Yeah, they need, that trade hasn't been official, Rob.
But
for the Suns to get,
but it's, yeah, but I'll talk more than on a different show. But that being said, this is going to conclude episode 2 of Ballin with the Ladies. When's the next show? Obviously next Sunday at 5:00 Eastern Standard Time. It's going to be a lot of
if you want to join in to that one, Coach, you're more than welcome.
Oh, absolutely, because trust me, I love talking WNBA basketball because hey, look, the ladies need some love too. Let's be real. I'm going to be
they need some love, man. They need some love too, bro.
That being said, hope everyone has a excellent Father's Day from me and Tyler here at the All-Star Sports Network and the Philly Sports Top Podcast. This is going to conclude episode 2 of Ballin with the Ladies because, like I said, this is going to be a lot of fun. Even with we're going to do this through, even when the season ends, we're going to still cover it at the all-season news and stuff like that. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be a lot of fun, and definitely, for sure.
Oh, for sure, man.
Hey, just let me know. That being said, appreciate everyone who's hung out with me entire today. If you guys do, make sure you hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and we are out.
Peace.